Kia is adding yet more models to its range of electric cars, and this is the latest one. It's the EV4. Now, the EV4 is actually going to come in two guises. This is the hatchback, but there's also going to be a sedan version or a saloon version, depending on the naming that you prefer to use. Either way, you'll be able to find a video of that other model also on the channel. So do look on the Complete Car channel, you'll find a video of that. But now we're going to talk about the hatchback version. So design wise, the front of either EV4 is the same. So you have this LED daytime running light down here and these bank of LED headlights here. And they're set right out far on the edge of the car. It really emphasizes the car's overall width as well. And it's a real statement piece, and you can see how low the bonnet is and how it curves up. It's reminiscent of what we've seen on the larger EV6, and we're going to see that continuing on a number of Kia's EV models. Of course, you've got the front-facing camera here. You've got some nice geometric designs here lower down. Again, that's also something that we're seeing on a lot of other models, and you have that kind of brushed effect on the badge as well. Then around the side, you can see this quite attractive profile. You've got really interesting wheel designs. Kia, all of the latest Kia models, they've all got really unusual wheel designs that we see, and not only do they look good, they do add aerodynamic properties to the car. As we've seen with the other models like the EV3, you've got flush fitting door handles, so they pop out when the car is unlocked, and you kind of have this rising belt line here and quite a flat roof that runs all the way along. Real haunches here in the car, and this I think is my favorite piece of the car. So you have this line coming right the way down here on the C-pillar. It's a really interesting graphic, just how it breaks up the car and differentiates it from the sedan version, and you'll see that in the other video that we do. But I really like this big haunches here on the car. You've got a spoiler, relatively shallow rear window, and then again the light detailing here as well. So nice and vertical. It mirrors what we've seen on the front of the car, and you can see how that wraps all the way around. It's not quite a full width light bar, but it does adds to that graphic as well. Gloss black further down. This is obviously the top spec GT line version, but yeah, it looks pretty attractive on the outside overall. There's going to be a lot of unusual and different colors available too. You can get it in a darker gray, but overall I think this color contrasts really well and shows off this kind of high gloss finish on the wheel arches. It's definitely more like a big hatchback than a CSUV or anything like that. It's not really a crossover as such, but I think it's quite a striking design, and it really shows how Kia is really kind of pushing itself forward in terms of its design, its positioning in the market. And of course, there's going to be a lot of specs available in terms of battery performance and range. So let's talk about those next. There will be two battery versions available with the EV4. It starts with a standard range 58.3 kilowatt hour battery, and in the hatchback that gives you a range of 410 kilometers. There will also be a larger capacity battery which measures 81.4 kilowatt hours, and that gives a longer range of 590 kilometers for the hatchback. At the moment, there's only one powertrain available, and that's a 150 kilowatt electric motor, drives the front wheels. That equates to 204 horsepower or 201 brake horsepower. And when it comes to charging, it's going to be capable of pretty rapid charging too. In the case of the smaller battery, 10 to 80% will take 29 minutes, while in the larger capacity battery, it's only 2 minutes longer. So going from 10 to 80% takes just 31 minutes. When it comes to boot space, the hatchback obviously gets slightly less than the sedan, but it's not that much of a compromise. You still get 435 litres of storage in there. So it's a useful amount for most family users. You've got a little bit of extra storage under the floor, and of course you can fold down the rear seats as well if you do need to have extra space. It's very easy, just fold those down, and then you can put in bigger items for all those trips to IKEA. The interior of the EV4 largely follows what we've seen in other Kia models. So the first thing you'll probably notice is this huge display here. It's a 30-inch screen that comprises of a 12.3-inch driver instrument display, a central 5.3-inch display for the air conditioning system and HVAC, and another 12.3-inch display for all your infotainment system. If I'm honest, the middle screen is a little bit of it's kind of pointless because it's generally obscured by your hand when you're holding the steering wheel, but I guess they wanted to fill up the space between the two screens, and it generally works quite well. The good thing is though, even though you have the air conditioning controls there, you've still got physical buttons here across the front, and that's far more practical for adjusting cabin temperature, air speeds, fan speed, all that kind of stuff. So that's really nice. Also, that central volume button there as well is really good. Obviously, you can also adjust it from the steering wheel. You have a multi-function steering wheel. Very easy to use all the buttons here. It's not festooned with buttons, which is nice. Drive mode is at the bottom spoke, and your drive selector here is a column stalk that sticks out as well. So going twisted forward for drive, backwards for reverse. There are also some other buttons in here discreetly put. So these are just basically shortcut buttons to go between different aspects of the menu system itself. Further down on the center console, you've got a lot of USB ports, so 100-watt charging, which is really good. You can charge pretty much any device you want off that. You've got a central area here. You've got a wireless charging pad, so you can put your phone on there if you want to have a charge, and actually it's nicely rubberized as well, so it's not going to slide around. You've got some cup holders that fold in and out, so if you don't need to have them, you can have them fully open, or you simply push that button and it pops out. You've more storage space in here, another storage space in here, and a nice armrest too. So it's very practical inside here. Seats are very nice. They're nice, comfortable, they're supportive, they don't feel overly sporty, and there's actually quite a nice finish to them in terms of the upholstery and the overall design. In fact, the overall aesthetic and the quality in here, granted this is the GT line, this is the top spec version, but it's very nice. All these materials here on the dashboard, there's a little bit of ambient lighting. On the door here, I've got controls for the heated seats, the heated steering wheel. It's the same on the passenger side as well. There's also a sunroof, not a full glass roof, but there's a sunroof in there at least, which is something. And overall, yeah, it's pretty nice in here. You know, lots of adjustment. The seats are electrically adjustable. There's a good amount of reach and rake here as well on the steering wheel. So overall, absolutely ticks all the boxes. The quality feels very good. The aesthetic is nice. No real complaints here at all. Let's see what it's like sitting in the back seats. Well, first things first, I have a lot of legroom back here. It's a little bit of an advantage that this has a longer wheelbase anyway, but look, I've tons of room here. I can stretch out my feet. Granted, the seats in the front are a little bit on the low side, so it's not that easy to get your feet in underneath the seat, but I don't really need to because I've got so much knee room here. So that's a real plus. I quite like that. I've got a good amount of headroom as well. So for reference, I'm 5'9", I'm pretty average height, but I've no issue in terms of headroom. And actually, because the roof goes further back behind me before it slopes down, it means I'm not losing out any headroom here at all. The windows are a decent size and they actually come quite further back here. So again, I'm not losing out anything. Overall space is pretty good. Practicalities, well, you have a little pocket here on the backs of the seat fronts. I really love Kia's approach to putting USB ports on the sides of the seats, so both front seats have built-in USB-C ports. Really handy to have it there. You do get vents back here as well. No climate control, but there is extra storage in there as well, so that's quite good. The door bins are on the small side, if I'm honest. They're not massive, but this GT line also has heated outer seats. I've got a button here on the door armrest, so that's quite useful, nice to have. As ever, middle seat, it's a little bit of a compromise. It's noticeably narrower than the two outer seats. So really this is going to be two adults in comfort. 3 adults will be a bit of a push. If you don't need to have that, you can obviously pop down the armrest. The usual cup holder thing is there. And last thing is that both of the 2 outer seats have Isofix child mounting points as well, so they can both carry a child seat. And usefully, when the door is open, actually opens to quite a wide angle too, so getting in and out is actually fairly easy. So that's our first look around the new Kia EV4 Hatch. I think it's going to be quite a popular car, but if you want to know more about it, head over to our website. It's CompleteCar.ie. You'll find it linked in the description below. And also don't forget to check out our channel for our other video of this car's sibling, the EV4 sedan. Thanks for watching.